Welcome back to Access Houston on 97.9 The Box.
Good Sunday morning. You're listening to Access Houston. I'm your host, KG Smooth. We got a bunch with us today, but I'm excited about this because she is a friend to the program. She is a personal friend, and she is the founder of Houston Play on Purpose, and also an educator and just all-around dope individual. Please welcome the lovely Holly Charles back to the show.
Good morning,
How are
KG.
you? Get up on that mic,
Good
girl.
morning. How are you?
I'm good. So good to see you. You're
I'm
doing
glad
a lot
to
of
be here
great
again.
things in the city, and
God is keeping me busy.
Yes, indeed, because you are walking in your purpose, I feel.
Houston Play on Purpose. There you go. Plug.
Yeah, no doubt. Also, she is, well, I don't have her title, so I imagine that she is a part of the play In All Thine Getting, the lovely Iman Garrett-Price. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm the manager of programs and strategic partnerships at Emancipation Park.
Oh, okay, so you're with
Working in
Emancipation Park.
partnership
Okay.
with Houston Play on Purpose.
No
yes.
doubt. Love that place, by the way.
Beautiful.
It's an awesome place.
Yeah. And he is an artist, a spoken word artist, poet, host, philanthropist. Anything else that I'm missing, Joe?
Actor.
He does a lot. And H-Town market icon Joe P is in the house.
Hello. How you doing, Mr. Smooth?
Man, I'm great. I'm so glad that you guys are here.
Happy to be here.
You know, the Emancipation Park Conservancy got a big Juneteenth celebration that's coming up. The 147th, I believe.
Yes.
And you guys have collaborated,
Absolutely.
and you're bringing back In All Thine Getting, which was a play that was at the Ensemble Theater. Was it last summer?
It actually was the summer before. It was in
last?
2017. And so thank God Emancipation Park decided that they would, honor us by bringing the play back. And so I get to collaborate with amazing people like Iman, as well as Joe P., who's coming on as our director this year. So his perspective is going to be incredible.
Word. Joe, you director.
Yeah, many hats, sir. Many hats.
Yeah. Oh, man. Shut up.
So this is the dream team. And really what we want to do is show people that, what happened in Freemans Town was not a dream. That was very much a reality. And so we're going to come back and tell this story about American heroes. It's not just Black history. This is American history. And so we have the privilege of also calling it Black, but we need everyone else in the city to acknowledge the amazing things that our ancestors have done.
Yes. For those who may not be familiar with the history and the story of Freemans Town right here in H-Town, if you don't, kids that are up listening, we about to teach you. As a matter of fact, you can have your parents and the grown folks that's listening now come on out to the play. But whoever, I don't care which one of y'all. Holly, I don't want you to tell us what it's about. I would like to hear a different perspective from either Iman or Joe. Give us a brief synopsis of In All Thine Getting.
Well, the play is basically a story. It's a historical story about preservation of our history and one of family and relationships, whether that be with your family or your significant other. And so for those that don't know, Freedmen Town was a town where when the slaves were first freed or brought into the ports in Galveston or freed in Texas and Houston, they put us in the worst part of the land in the city. And so we were in a mushy, mosquito-filled, disease-filled, swampy type land. And so they petitioned for 6 years to try to lay roads on this land. And for 6 years, the city denied them. And finally, after 6 years, told them that they could finally pave the roads. And so when they did tell them they could, they said they could, but only with white contractors. And they knew how to build. They had their own brick companies, they had built their own community and wanted to pave their own roads. And within 10 years of being in that terrible land, they had a trolley system working. Mm-hmm. They had their own doctors, churches, and it was all Black. All Black community, and it was thriving and it was pumping because they all had to depend on them because nobody else would help them. And so with this play, we're telling that story and at the same time telling a story of a house that has lasted all the way through that time and the family that's in there currently and how they have a grandmother from the past that grew up in those times that's trying to teach the younger ones of, this history and why we need to preserve it because that's what's fleeing us now in the world is our history. You know, young ones don't care about history as much as, you know, we should. And so what we're trying to do with this play is show the preservation of our history, because we hear about history about America all the time, but it's rare we hear about the black history in our own city that some of us grew up in. And so we just want to tell that story. Holly did a good job with writing this play and you know, balancing the power between these two, the family and a family from back then, and showing, you know, the preservation of when we do preserve and take care of our elders and our memorable things that make us who we are. You know, then it lasts longer and it bleeds on to the next generation.
It's so funny that you said that, because my youngest brother and I were having that conversation about when you own something or you build it from the bottom up, you worked for it.
Right.
You appreciate and you take care of it.
You're more invested.
Absolutely.
Way more invested.
Iman, you want to say?
And so just to touch a bit more on ownership and the history of Emancipation Park, a lot of people don't know that Emancipation Park was founded in 1872 by 4 former slaves. They pooled their money together, about $1,000, and they purchased 10 acres of land. And they purchased that land so that they would have somewhere to celebrate Juneteenth, which was June 15th, 1872. And so we're coming into our 147th celebration of Juneteenth in Emancipation Park. And that park was literally founded for us.
Yeah.
Former slaves pooled their money together so that we could have that space.
Okay, so now you have, for me, in my mind, made up what I'm going to do on Juneteenth. Because first, I believe that it should be a national holiday.
Right.
Yes.
Just like the 4th of July.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Second, I feel as if we don't celebrate it enough. I think the buzz and the importance about Juneteenth, and I may be wrong, might have started coming up more after that episode of Blackish. There was an episode of Blackish where they talked about Juneteenth and, you know, with, you know, how we do with the, you know, hibiscus tea and, you know, all of that comes with it. So from that episode on, like maybe 2 or 3 years afterwards, I'm seeing black people being more. I'm definitely involved. I don't go to work that day. I don't do anything. Like, I literally treat Juneteenth, June 19th, like
that's what you're supposed to do.
I mean, we were freed that day. They got the last
After
word
everybody.
came here. Right here.
Right.
Right down the road in Galveston. There's so much rich history in Houston that is not told. And big ups to you, Holly, Joe, all of you guys, Iman, the people over at Emancipation Park Conservatory for sharing that, because it is so important. And I think when people know, they'll appreciate it more.
And this is what it takes, people like this using their platforms to put on shows like this. So we got Holly has put together a great team along with the Conservancy, and Iman and them have backed us and put together a great team. We have a great group of actors that are well known within the city that are going to come together and tell this story. And so we're going to do our best to make it current so people don't feel like they're going to some old throwback play. But this is going to pull you in. It's going to be entertaining. It's going to be current. It's going to be tell you history, and it's going to do all that in, you know, in that one sitting, that night that you come, or whenever
I'm
you
looking
come.
forward.
And just so everyone knows, we are celebrating Juneteenth all of June.
Absolutely.
All of June.
All
All
of
of
June. So
June.
we
Okay.
Give us
I'm
the
here
list.
The
for
whole
Yes.
month.
the whole
So
month.
we'll start on June 1st. Shape Community Center is going to have their 50th anniversary celebration at Emancipation Park. Later on in that week, we'll have an actual Juneteenth pageant. Then we'll move into the And All That Getting play, which will take place June 7th through 9th. That's kind of a lead in to our actual Juneteenth celebration. That's from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday, June 15th. So we'll have some historical reenactments. We'll have some musical guests, local and some that you might know. Will be in attendance as well. We'll have a kids zone. We've got a lot of different vendors coming out. We're actually still taking vendor applications. So if you've got some goods or something that you'd like to sell or something that you'd like to showcase to the community, then definitely
And how
attend.
can they do that? How could
So you can visit us at www.emancipationparkconservancy.org. We have a link to the tickets on our website. It's right on the homepage. Tickets are $25. And we also have our vendor application. So for anyone that wants to come out and do a pop-up activation, you can come out. We're also working with some other great community partners. In addition to Houston Play on Purpose, we're working with Project Row Houses, who has an activation, the Shape Community Center, and a lot of our different third ward community organizations.
No doubt. You're listening to Access Houston. I'm talking to Holly Charles, Iman Garrett-Price, and Joe P. From the Emancipation Park Conservatory and Houston Play on Purpose and All Thine Getting, back for a second run, right in time for Juneteenth, for the 147th Juneteenth celebration at Emancipation Park. The play will run June 7th through the 9th. And Holly, you were about to say something.
What I was going to say was I actually was going to commend you on this intentional celebrating of our history. And I really wanted people to kind of follow your lead on that. I mean, we do complain about a lot of things that are not in our history books. And now this is an opportunity for us to find those little known facts. This is an opportunity for us to really celebrate what they're not giving us. And so the goal of this play was really to give people an opportunity. Give people an opportunity to learn about themselves and to learn that every Black history fact does not begin at a whipping post. And this play is about the celebration of freed men. And then there's this sanctity of being on the grounds of, Emancipation Park, where freed slaves said, we're gonna purchase this land and we're going to celebrate here. So please bring your family, bring your children. It wasn't just like there was slavery and then Malcolm X and then Martin Luther King and then Barack Obama. There's a process. There's a whole thing.
Yes. And thank you for that, Holly. As you know, I intentionally use this platform for us unapologetically. I don't care. They've had a 400-plus year head start. It's time for us to come together, support our own. And, I say this every week. I'm sure people that listen, they're like, he always saying this because it's true. Because it is true. And, just parts like Freemans Town and Third Ward, it makes me think of Black Wall Street. And I was like, okay, they got jealous and mad because it was thriving and they burned that down. That's just the only one that we know of. How many other ones were there like that? And here in Houston, we see like in Third Ward. I remember when I got here, and there was, then they were talking about shutting down the hospital. In Third Ward, it was a big, it was a big deal. And I remember us going down to, the protests. I think Quanell X was there, and I'm new to Houston. I'm new
We're
to
both
Houston.
from up north,
Yeah, and I was just like, wow, they got their own hospital that was Black. Ran, owned, and operated.
I got a lot of friends that were born in the hospital. Now it's just gone.
And so I think it's really important to tell those unique stories. Like, if at the beginning of Freedmen's Town, you could not be served. I mean, if there was something wrong, you'd had to, by horse and buggy, go all the way to Prairie View. And so people were dying along the way. And so this story talks about how resilient we are, how innovative we are. And so we can't keep losing our historic sites, but we have to actually raise our fists and protest, not in divisiveness, And so I want to be very clear about that. This is for everybody. This is about American heroes. When you stick people into, a marshy bayou and put them down there with alligators and collars, you have to celebrate that they not only succeeded, but they thrived.
They thrived with it, right? Talk about making something.
And it adds to the value of this city. So we just as an important part, even the areas.
So when it came down that they were trying to remove the bricks, I'm like,
and that they've continued. I think what we have to remember is this. And I want everyone in the city of Houston to understand that there were once 568 structures in Freedmen's Town. Most of downtown was initially Freedmen's Town, okay? And as it shrunk, it turned into Fourth Ward, and now suddenly we're pretending that there was, this new land. Well, there's new land that dropped out of the sky. It's called Midtown.
Right.
What everybody needs to understand is that is,
Midtown is...
That was originally Freedmen's Town.
That's
what that is.
Yes,
much of downtown was. Yes, so we're down to less than
a lot of downtown.
We're down to less than 10 structures. We are down to less than 10 structures and bricks that have been removed for one reason or another. And so it's our duty to celebrate Juneteenth. It's our duty to learn these stories and to teach our children. If we know they're not happening in the classrooms, then you create that environment.
That's why I'm so gung ho about it. I mean, for real. And I mean, and it. I guess maybe there's a deep connection because of all of the things and discrimination that I went with because of the darker hue of my skin. But I know that we are literally real life magicians.
We are.
Yes.
We are. We are. And stories like this definitely need to be told. I am so excited for the second go round. I'm excited to see the new cast.
Yeah.
Joe's directing.
Yeah.
It's gonna
Joe's
be
perspective is going to be dope.
Yeah. That's because you're so conscious, brother. I mean, I know.
Yeah.
I'm a
gonna
fan.
have
I
some
follow
fun.
your work, so I'm really geeking about this go round. Iman, when it comes to Emancipation Park, beautiful place. What do people need to know that's new and going on there?
So we have lots of different programs that are going on at Emancipation Park right now. One that everyone should know about is we host Movie in the Tray. That's every first Friday of the month. A lot of people don't know that, but we bring out a big screen. We have music. We have vendors. You can come out and watch a movie with us every first Friday of the month at 7 p.m.
Okay.
And
So this first Friday. Oh, well, wait. Well, that's the 7th, so it won't
so
be a
we'll
movie.
end,
It'll be
no,
the play.
it will be the
Play.
play. So in June, we're going to host it on June 21st, and we are going to be showing Crooklyn.
Oh, nice.
So we're gonna.
Oh,
have a
Yeah,
Spike
a Spike Lee joint.
Yes,
I
for
came
sure.
across a Spike Lee joint the other day on Netflix called See You Yesterday. It was really
Really?
good. Yeah, it had to deal with these two kids. They were high school students who built a time machine. So the STEM aspect is in there.
I saw that.
You also have, the challenges of being black,
Yeah,
with dealing with police and all
Yeah.
of that. And I really enjoyed it. I mean, the way that it ended, I was like, what? There has to be a sequel, right? The way that it ended. But just that whole science, technology, engineering, mathematics component, because there are a lot of, there's black nerds out there, like, and I love them. So, right. So you would love this. You would love this film. But I'm sorry to go off on that.
No, it's
In All
necessary.
Thine Getting, June 6th through the 7th at Emancipation
June
Park.
7th through
9.
9th.
7th through the 9th. What did I say?
You said 6 through 7. Don't matter.
No,
7 through the 9.
7th through the 9th, yes.
Yes.
Excuse me. Directed by Joe P. New cast. Somebody on IG hit me up. Damon Hoyle.
Damon
Yeah,
Hoyle.
he was like, yeah,
yes.
I'm in the playing a lot of games. I was like, oh yeah, I saw it 2 summers ago. Holly's a friend of mine. So I'm excited for you. People are excited. Where can they get all of the information? Follow all of you guys. Give out all your socials and all that stuff.
Okay, Emancipation Park. You want to start with that, Iman?
Yes, you can find us online, www.emancipationparkconservancy.org. You can also find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat at EP Conservancy. You can follow along with all of the wonderful things that we have going on.
Yeah, I love it there. I work out there in the gym from time to time, so I'm a
Everyone should
member.
yes, and memberships are free.
Free 99.
Yes.
That's why I go there, and I was like, dang, and they got a squat rack.
Brand
so, yeah.
new, state-of-the-art workout facility.
Love
free.
it. Love it.
And you can also go to HoustonPlayOnPurpose.com to purchase tickets or to see about our last production in 2017 as well as last summer. So
Yeah. Last production was
I'm Still a Woman.
I'm
That was
Still a
about
Woman. That's right,
infertility and women of color.
Yes,
Yeah.
that one was another great one.
Thank you.
Sorry, I've been
He's been faithful.
I
see.
Holly's things because I love your work. I admire you as a writer. And
Thank you.
I was an English major in college before I switched it over. So we share that. Joe P.
You can find me at I am Joe P on Instagram and www.actingupstudios, my acting studio company .com. That's where Damon, I actually worked with him, and that actually landed him this role in this cast. So we work and try to make everybody in this city top talent so that we don't have to go off to LA and New York. Those producers and movie people can come down here and find the talent here. So definitely go check out the website. We got workshops, classes for people all day long, all throughout the year. So thank you.
No doubt. This is beautiful. I love what all of you all are doing. I mean, it just really, my heart is tingling right now because I just feel like it's our time.
It is our time, and I want to say this for everyone who's listening. The title of the play, "In All Thy Getting," comes from Proverbs 4:7, which says, "In all thy getting, get an understanding." And so, if you're driving down the street and you're on your way to, a great job, a lucrative business, and and your kids are well fed, and all these things, all these literal gettings that we have, we also have to have that spiritual getting of understanding of where we come from in order for us to continue to thrive and to continue to hold one another up. So in all that getting, get an understanding. That's what I want people to be able to do.
And you will with this play. And I hope when you come out and you see this incredible production that it will open your eyes to the Black girl and Black boy joy magic that we have been continuing to talk about, and know that it started long time ago.
Way
long time ago, and it just continues to go down. So big ups to y'all for this, and I can't wait. And I can't wait to see it again. Like, I'm really geeking. I am excited. Okay. So thank you so much. Holly Charles, the founder of Houston Play on Purpose, Mr. Joe P., and Iman Garrett-Price from the Emancipation Park Conservatory. Thank y'all for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for listening to Access Houston.